What were you eating? What was your fueling like and your supplementation like?
Fueling, like I was doing obviously like gels in like both bottles, or if I had the vest, I had squeezable baby food, I had protein bars, I had trail mix, and I had carb and electrolyte mix in one bottle, water in the other. And then obviously, like when you're eating like a bunch of like sweet things like on the actual laps, like you get to a point where like, oh, the gels kind of like taste bad. So that's when I would swap out to the protein bar or the baby food, or even like something like salty, like a little bag of chips or something like that. And then it was the same thing with the electrolytes. It was like way too sweet. So I was like, yo, swap it to the coconut water. Coconut water was honestly like a saving grace for me because I like didn't want to drink any more electrolytes. And as soon as I swapped to the coconut water, game changer.
Mm,
And then in base camp, I was eating a little bit more like solid foods. So I was doing like I had some overnight oats that we made, some sandwiches. The race was handing out food too. Grilled cheese during that race was so gas, bro. And they were doing burgers there. My mom, she made some like steaks too, like little thin steaks. So I was eating
nice.
steaks because you get to a point where like carbs are good, but like you also want like the protein just for like, the muscle like kind of like breakdown and all that. Um but yeah, it was a lot of like real foods, and I was actually doing pretty good because um I've been like training my gut for probably like the past like year and a half before I even knew I was gonna do a race like this. Just because my friend, he also runs ultras, and he's like, yo, like even if you're just running, just train your gut. Train your gut. Eat before you go for runs, like easy runs, long runs, just eat, 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 just to
Mm.
kind of get used to it. And yeah, I mean, my gut handled everything pretty well, which is good because that's what you want. Because as soon as you stop eating, that's kind of it for you. Um, but yeah, a lot of solid foods and just a lot of like um just obviously like the liquids, semi-solids, all that.
When did you get into the endurance world and how did you get in the content creation game too?
The endurance world, I feel like I'm like just scratching the surface with this one
Yeah.
because now that I finished it, like I'm like itching to like get another one under my belt, and I think I want to do a trail race next. And I kind of want to put together my own backyard ultra around here.
Be sweet.
Been talking to a couple of the boys, and we're gonna see what we can do. But yeah, I've been doing like content for I want to say like 3 years, 3.5 years now. So I've been doing it for a while, and
Content is
even
used very loosely here because I wouldn't.
yes, yeah,
Your content is very different than other people's content. Yours is like
yeah, yeah,
cinematic.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, like it. It's been a wild ride because like even probably when we first started like following each other, like it was a completely different. I feel like Instagram and like TikTok was a completely different space than what it is today. Like it was all like motivation, it was all this, it was all that, and like yeah, I still love like my content to look like pretty high quality, but I think everything's kind of shifted away from that, which is nice. Um, and it's good to always just kind of like be in the loop and like not be doing the same thing because I do still see people doing the same thing, and I'm like, come on, bro,
Yeah.
we gotta switch it up a little bit. But no, I mean, it's been good because like and I think my whole thing has been like, I started running again prior to even like starting content. So like for me, when I do races, like feel like I almost put the content second as opposed to like doing the training. Like I think this past like almost like 6 months, I've kind of like not fully taken a step back. Like I still post like pretty often, but like not every day because I was just more concentrated on actually like doing the training and like making sure I get the proper rest and just putting my all into the training rather than the content. And I think it works out better because in that way I can kind of you know work on the performance a little bit more. And I think that's something that maybe not a lot of people do. I don't know. Like maybe I just work different. Maybe I just can't do both at the same time. But yeah, I mean, it's it's been a good ride so far. It's been a while.
Do you have your eyes on any particular races coming up? Because I'm out in
Yeah,
Denver, bro. We got
yeah.
some pretty good ones out here. We got
I know
Leadville.
you guys got Leadville. Actually, my boy did Leadville last year. He
Okay,
did it with he did it with Training Peaks.
sweet.
So I think they gave him a ticket. And he said it was really good. I think he DNF'd at like mile 60 though, which was tough. He was pretty upset about that, but
So much
Leadville takes
elevation,
souls,
man.
man.
Yeah,
Leadville
dude.
takes souls, bro.
I mean,
It's
your
tough.
start